A plea from Bernie Sanders. Your vote in California. By Bernie Sanders. Secretary Clinton must not become the Democratic Party's presidential nominee. I am writing today because I hope to earn your vote. Tomorrow, June 7th, is a very important day that will decide the most important election in our lifetime. Will our political revolution succeed, or will we have to wait at least 4 more years? Can America survive another 4 more years without solving our formidable challenges? Hello, my name is Bernie Sanders. I believe readers of this website already know who I am. I was endorsed by Cooper TV for the Democratic nomination and was rated the best in the Democratic debates by Cooper TV's grading scale. If you live in California, New Jersey, Montana, North Dakota, New Mexico, or South Dakota, I want you to pay special attention to what I have to say. You should check out the map here to see the status of the primary in your state and what you need to be registered as. We win when we have high voter turnout. I believe that I have the winning message of the future, while my opponent in this primary election, Secretary Clinton, is a throwback to the past. I will explain exactly what differentiates me and Secretary Clinton in the course of this article, and why I am the better choice. For a better United States of America and the whole world, and, ultimately, how that benefits you, the hardcore gamer. First, let me make this point extremely clear. Donald Trump must not become President of the United States. His racist, sexist, and xenophobic rhetoric is a danger to this country, and his policies would set us back to where we fought so hard to leave. Secretary Clinton would be a much better president than Mr. Trump. However, Secretary Clinton may be the only Democrat who can lose a general election to Mr. Trump. Take a look at these favorability ratings compiled by the Huffington Post's pollster. I am the only candidate with positive favorability. Have you seen the general election polling? Donald Trump is within the margin of error with Secretary Clinton in many battleground states and nationwide, and beating her in some instances. Meanwhile, I defeat Donald Trump in a landslide, consistently. That is the argument I will bring to the Democratic National Convention and try to get the superdelegates to support me. It would be wrong to risk the fate of the country by backing the only candidate that could lose. A vote for Secretary Clinton now is a vote for Donald Trump. Why do so many Americans not trust Secretary Clinton? Well, I do not care about her damn emails. I think most Americans see that as a partisan witch hunt, pardon my expression. So it must be something else. Let's look at some of her positions and compare them to mine. Hillary Clinton voted to send troops to Iraq in 2002. I opposed this. I opposed it because I was worried about the high cost of war, in terms of human life of American men and women, of Iraqi citizens, and of the financial concerns. I was strongly concerned about how the Iraq War would diminish America's standing in the world. I was also concerned about what would happen the day after we deposed Saddam Hussein. Now, because Secretary Clinton and other members of Congress, along with the Bush administration, did not take into account unintended consequences, we have this situation with ISIS in Iraq. It is bad enough that hundreds of thousands of members of our military have come back from Iraq wounded and psychologically damaged, and as the former chairman of the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs, I know the pain our veterans have gone through. It is a shame that, thanks to the neoconservatives, a group that Secretary Clinton is a member of, all of this was wasted. If you have lost a father, a mother, a brother, a daughter, a son, or other family members in these irresponsible and counterproductive wars, you can lay some of the blame on Secretary Clinton. It is hard to enjoy life's hobbies, such as playing video games, when you are mourning the loss of a loved one or have to stay by their side in a VA hospital. We are not looking out enough for our veterans. Disabled veterans can mean a family's only source of income is debilitated. How we treat war, foreign affairs, and our veterans is a key difference between myself and Secretary Clinton. I consider my vote on the Iraq War to be a key moment of foresight on my part. My critics suggest that I do not have foreign policy experience, like Secretary Clinton does. However, what is experience when you clearly do not possess judgment? And what does it say about Secretary Clinton's judgment when the Clinton Foundation accepts donations from foreign dictatorships with horrible human rights records while she was the sitting Secretary of State, and then doling out favors to those countries that donated? I have a problem with that. Another issue of national security is climate change. I believe climate change is the greatest threat to the United States. If we do nothing about it, the rising sea levels and droughts will wipe things out. Californians know this. Donald Trump and the owner of this website are climate change deniers and go out of their way to declare how they are anti-science. Remember the West Coast port strikes severely limiting the supply of amiibo to the United States? The devastating effects of climate change would be worse than that on global economic trade. Hillary Clinton is not serious about climate change. While she would be much better on the issue than Mr. Trump, only I am calling for an immediate ban on fracking. Meanwhile, she was pushing fracking as Secretary of State. I have an ambitious plan for 100% clean renewable energy nationwide by 2050. Secretary Clinton does not seek 100% independence from the fossil fuel industry that is polluting our country. I wonder why. Secretary Clinton is raising huge amounts of money from Wall Street with her super PACs. She claims that she would govern independently of these super PACs, but these finance people are not dumb. Why would they be giving her so much money? Out of the kindness of their hearts? No, they will control her. On the other hand, I will break up the big banks and clamp down on the Wall Street gamblers that crushed our economy, including the video game sector, in the biggest financial collapse in your lifetime. I am the one Wall Street is afraid of. I have a comprehensive economic agenda designed to raise the wages of hard-working Americans. Anyone who works 40 hours a week should not be living in poverty. That is why I am making a $15 an hour living wage a priority issue with my campaign. America deserves a raise. Secretary Clinton is only for a $12 an hour minimum wage, though she also gives lip service to the fight for 15. Which is it, Secretary Clinton? Unlike Donald Trump, who believes that wages are actually too high, I am very concerned about Americans living in poverty traps. A $15 an hour federal minimum wage is more than double the current $7.25, which is the lowest it has been in history when taking inflation into account. More money in your pocket means you do not have to worry about where dinner will come from, and you can save money to buy those games that will be announced next week at the Electronic Entertainment Expo. And by the way, that takes place in California too. I also believe in making college tuition-free and debt-free. We need the best educated workforce in the world to have a strong future in this highly globalized, competitive economy. In my view, young people need more education, and it is tragic that people cannot afford to go to college. We do not need to saddle our young people with college debt. I am sure you would rather focus on getting the best education you can rather than have anxiety attacks about how you are going to pay for it. You can then be in the mood to have those Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart parties in your dorm room. But if Hillary Clinton had her way, the video game industry would not even exist right now. I was far away from then Senator Clinton's Family Entertainment Protection Act. Enough is enough! We need 3 months of paid family and medical leave, and we need Medicare for all. Anything less is unacceptable. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. We need universal healthcare, and every major country on Earth besides the United States has guaranteed healthcare. Secretary Clinton once backed single-payer, universal healthcare, but now she deems it unfeasible. That is not true. We cannot settle for slow and steady with the problems that we have. We have millions of Americans that are hurting daily because their institutions have failed them. Delays in helping them is doing them a disservice. It is the job of public figures to help people. I cannot do this alone. I need your vote tomorrow. This movement is not just about me. It is about you. I will not be here on this earth for much longer. I plan to be around for at least 4 more years, though. But you will. One person cannot bring this magnitude of change by him or herself. I need your vote, and the votes of everyone else who may be reading this, and the votes of those who are not reading this, so your help in sharing the movement is very much appreciated. Anyway, I would like to thank Cooper TV for providing me a platform to voice my views. Both Secretary Clinton and Donald Trump have agreed to debate with me, but both reneged on their public promises. I swear that I will keep my word as President of the United States. I have had consistent views for decades, fighting for these causes, and I will not change my mind now. Bernie Sanders is the junior senator from the great state of Vermont and a Democratic candidate for President of the United States. He is a fighter for progressive values. Please donate to the Bernie Sanders campaign here. The average donation is $27, the same amount in years that Bernie has been married to his loving wife, Jane. For more information about Bernie's stances on the issues, see his campaign website. Because Senator Sanders is so busy, he will not be able to respond to your comments. Please understand.